Hi there, this is Rob at reason101.net, and I'm here to show you a tutorial on how I came up with 7 songs in 7 days. This is just a little bit about how I set things up, so I'm going to move right along, and I'm probably going to go a little bit quick, so just try to follow along and pause it and play it back at your leisure. So first thing I do, I have an empty template here. First thing I do is I'll create a redrum. I'm going to start with the drums. I have an empty template here, so I'm going to load up a couple of samples. First, I'm going to look into the exclusive. Well, I'll just start from the beginning. Go to the Reason Factory Sound Bank, go to the Redrum Drum Kits, go to the exclusive drums sorted, and then go to the bass drums, and you can listen to your bass drums. Let's take that one, and now I'm going to take another one. I'm going to take something a little bit harder than that. That's not bad, but let's see. No, that's too... Alright, let's take that one, just for starters. Now flip it to the back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the gate out of number 1 drum, go into the second, gate in, take the second and go into the third. And then flip it around to the back, and now I'm going to just draw a simple straight pattern. I'm going to boost this up to 64. Go up to the second set, and let's do this. Go to the third set, and then let's do something like that. And the last one, let's do something like that, and let's run it. Oh, I'm actually on the second one, so let's flip around to the back again. I screwed this up. Alright, let's go to the second, into here, then first into the third. It's basically do the same thing, it's playing all of them at once. I should have selected the first drum to play it so that I can listen to it. Now I'm going to take a third kick. And you can hear it playing in the background over here. Okay, that sounds pretty good. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the length. And adjust the levels just a little bit. Okay, I can also adjust the pitch a little if I want. And you can play around with this until you get something you like. Alright. Okay, so now that you've got a drum beat that you like for the kicks, next thing is we're going to add a snare. So this time I'm going to make sure I select this, and I'm going to load up a snare drum. Something that hopefully works with this. Okay, that's pretty good. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add a pattern in. Do it on the seconds and third. again, I'm going to take number 4 going into number 5. So that's going to play these two. So now I'm just going to open up, add a new one in. Again, I'm going to adjust the level and the length a little. Okay, so that's starting to sound pretty good. Now I'm going to go to numbers 8 and 9, and I'm going to load up the hi-hat. Okay, do the same trick. Take number 8, going into number 9, and number 8 is selected. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now it's sounding number 9, so we'll add another one. Actually, that sounds pretty good. Okay, so now that we have our drums, let's just stop this for a second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here and I'm going to create 2 other mix channels. I'm going to label this one kicks. I'm going to label this one snares. Label this one hi-hats. Okay, let's take these. Let's put it... Actually, let's take the redrum. Let's move it underneath these. And then under there, I'm going to create a spider audio merger. And I'm going to duplicate this. Duplicate it again. So now I've got 3 spider mergers. Let's put them all underneath so that we can hear them all. Let's take the kicks. Actually, let's do this. Let's just take this. Oh, it's going to move it with it. Alright, so let's do this. Take that out, move that up there. Okay, so now you've got your kicks. Let's move the kicks up here. You've got your kicks, your snares, your hi-hats. So now the easy thing to do is we're going to group them together. So you've got the first 2, or I should say the first 3. It's going to move it. Okay, so these are your kicks, as long as you know what's what. This will be the snares. This will be the hi-hats. Okay, so once again, let's take the snares, and let's take the hi-hats. There. And then the kicks, the output for the kicks is going to go into the kick input. Output for the snare is going to go into the snare input, and output of the hi-hats is going to go into the hi-hat inputs. Okay, so now if you run it, they're all running on their own channels. Beautiful. Now let's do a little trick here. Let's edit the automation for the pattern. Let's see how long it is. Okay, so you know that your pattern is going to go for 4 bars, and I'll just zoom in so you can see that. Okay, it's going to go for those 4 bars. So with that being done, let's delete that. Let's go back to our rack. Let's clear the automation. Now let us go to here again. Make this 4 bars long. Go back to the rack. Right click and select. Why can't I select it? Okay, copy pattern to track. That's what you want. You want to select the pattern and then copy it to the track. So now you've got it on its own track. But I want this to be on separate tracks. So if you hit F8, you're going to get the tool window. And what you want to do is go down to your extract notes to lanes, the bottommost one, click explode, and click move. Okay, so that creates separate tracks. And now you don't need this last track in there, so you can just do that. Now, from doing this long enough, I know I'm going to add labels here. I just want to add a label into this one. This is going to be the kick on the bottom. This here is going to be our snare. And the topmost one is going to be our hi-hats. Beautiful. Okay. Now that we have them on their separate tracks, we can start to process them. So if you loop this, then press play, we can go in here, you select your mix channel, right click, select effects, click on the pulverizer. That's automatically going to add a pulverizer to the kick. You can even mute the other ones if you don't want to hear them. Add a little dirt, a little compression. Let's move this down a notch. And already it's starting to sound really big. A little too big. So let's remove the volume a little. And let's have the filter cut off a little bit with the rate. Have some fun playing that. And now let's parallel process. And there's your big sounding kick. Even increase the release, move the tone down a little bit, and that works for our kick. Now there's one last thing that I'm going to do to process the kicks. I want to have some modulation in the pitch of some of these drums. Since you've already got the pulverizer created, what you can do is tab to the back and use the follower and the tremor outputs and output that to the pitch of these drums. Let's remove the cables, and now you can adjust how much they're affected. If you don't like that, move it over here and try affecting the pitch of this drum. I don't quite like that, so let's change this around. Okay, so that's starting to sound better. And there you go. With the pulverizer, you can modulate the kicks, the pitch of the kicks, and you can also process the kicks at the same time. Nice little trick. Now, if you're new to Reason 6, coming from Reason 5 or previous, you'll notice that each of these mix channels get their own little processor. I'm just going to stop this for now. They get their own little combinator, so to speak, which you can put the insert effects straight in here so that you can hide them. You can also program the buttons, the rotaries, and the buttons the same way that you would with a combinator. It's pretty much the same setup, except that it's all neatly laid away in this mix channel here. So it makes for a less cluttered rack. So that's our kicks. In the next tutorial, I'm going to go on and I'm going to continue with this track idea and show you a few other tricks to creating your drums, your bass, and so on and so forth. So thanks for watching so far. This is part 1 of how to create 7 songs in 7 days. And thanks for watching. Come visit me at reason101.net. Take care.